right, so today we're going to be looking at free stroke. It's a technique that's different than rest stroke. So rest stroke, as we know, we're going to be resting our fingers on the adjacent string. So if I'm playing here, this E, I'm going to rest my finger on the B string. Same thing if I'm doing a rest stroke with a thumb. I'm going to come down and rest my finger, my thumb, on the A string. So here, now, what's going to be happening with free stroke is the technique's a little bit different. With rest stroke, what we're doing is our knuckles are actually kind of behind the string, right? And what I mean by that is the big knuckle here, the big knuckle, is actually about 2 strings behind. So if I look, my knuckle is right above the A string here. So with free stroke, what's going to happen is we're going to change our position and we're going to do everything the same that we would normally do with our rest stroke. So we're still going to take our finger, push down, and then release. So here I am, I'm pushing down onto the string, pushing in, and then I'm releasing. Except the only difference is I'm not being stopped by the string that's right above it, the adjacent string. So let's look at that. Let's look at the approach. So here with rest stroke, again, our knuckle is 2 strings back. We're going to go to free stroke. And now what's going to change is this guy right here. So whatever string I'm playing, my big knuckle is going to be over that string. So here, my big knuckle of the index finger that is going to play the G string is right over the G string. So here you go. I push down and release. So that's free stroke, right? Free stroke is all about just making sure that your big knuckle is over the string that you're going to play. You have a little bit of curve in your fingers so that you can push down the string. Remember, you don't want to lift up. You get to that snapping sound. Sounds really terrible, right? And you don't want to come under it, right? You get too much of a nail sound. So what you always want to do when you're playing is push down and release. Push down and release. Push down and release. Right there, I was just using my first, second, and my index, my middle, and my ring finger to play those. So a couple of things you want to watch out for. When you're first learning this technique, what I like to do is to bring our fingers back and touch our palm. So you can actually do this right now. Just go ahead and move your finger and make sure you touch the palm. And I call this feeding the elephant. So I'm going to change my hand position so you can get a better view here. So here we go. So if I'm playing here, you can see that I'm bringing my finger all the way back to my palm. And what I'm saying feed the elephant is you pretend that this is a elephant trunk and you bring it back and you touch your palm. That way you're ensuring that you're using that big knuckle. So each time I'm touching my palm, the back of my palm actually, now, a couple other things. We don't want to be bouncing our hands out. And we don't want to do this. We don't want to do what I call snake bites, where you come up like this. This is when people are afraid of hitting the other string. And so what they do is they bring their finger up like this. So they're kind of plucking. They're not plucking down. They're plucking up and then coming up with their fingers. It's not efficient. And it's not very practical, as well as it's not going to give you a good tone. So let's go back, and we're going to go ahead and just make sure that we push down, we release, and then our finger comes back. And our finger is actually going to springboard back. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you some exercises. You can get this PDF. This is exercise number 1. So we're going to use thumb, index, and middle. And we're going to play here the G string, the B string, and the E string. So I'm just going to follow along with this exercise. So here we go. I have index, middle, thumb, index, middle. now I'm going to go to the D string, thumb, index, middle, thumb, index. Now I'm going to go to the A string. So what we see here is my thumb is doing all the moving, but my index and middle finger are staying over the B and the E string. Right? So if you look, these two right here are not moving. The thumb is doing all the expanding. Very controlled, very relaxed. All right, now let's go to exercise 2. Exercise 2 is different. Whereas exercise 1, we had our thumb doing all the movement. Exercise 2, our fingers are going to move. And what's going to happen is we want to move our forearm back this way, right? So our elbow is going to move back, and then we're going to move ourselves back. So we kind of move diagonally across the strings. Never up and down, because that's going to change our wrist position and cause tension. Okay, so we don't want to do that. So here we go. Exercise number 2, starting on G string. Move to the D, G, and B string. D, G, B. A string. Now E string. A string. D string. And then back where we started on the G string. Now, for the next two exercises, exercises 3 and 4, what's going to happen is we are going to just flip those. So instead of going thumb, index, middle, we're going to go backwards. We're going to go middle, index, thumb, and then our thumb is going to do the same thing where it moves, keeps moving. Then for exercise number 4, we're going to move our fingers back. Same way we're just doing with exercise 2, except we're going backwards, middle, index, thumb. So here's exercise 3. Middle, index, thumb. Thumb goes to the D string. Now it's going to go to the A string. To the A string. Exercise 4. Again, we're going to move our fingers as we go. Middle, index, thumb. B, G, D, G, G, D, A. Now D, A, E, D, E. All right, so our second page here of 3 stroke exercises. Okay. Here we go. Let's try that one out. And that guy is going to include now our ring finger. So P-I-M-A, thumb, index, middle, ring. P-I-M-A. Here we go. So this one, exercise 5, is the same as exercise 1, except now we're using 4 fingers instead of 3. P, I, M, A, D, G, B, E. Now our thumb moves to the A string. The other fingers stay in the same spot. The knuckle is not moving. exercise 6. Here we go. We're going to move our fingers across just like we did with exercise 2. P, I, M, A, P. All right, I'm going to go quickly through the rest of these exercises. But here's exercise number 7. It's a combination. You're going to go P, M, A, M, P, I, M, I. And then you do the same thing, but now your thumb is moving over to the A string. Then you go to the E string. And then now you're going to go to the A string again. And then finally, okay. And then the rest of these are all variations. And so you can see very clearly that free stroke is really, really helpful for if we have to play arpeggios. Or if you're playing chords, blocked chords, free stroke's really helpful. Rest stroke is really great for if we're going to play a melody. So I hope this was helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions, and happy practicing.